Okay guys, Sandy says that it's time to do the spring tune-up on the John Deere X350. It's been sitting all winter, so I put the charger on it last week and it should be charged up. So I think I'll warm up the oil and then we'll change that and the new filter and fuel filter and spark plugs and whatever else it needs.
Me and the boys was sitting around drinking, we was talking about things that we was thinking, when all of a sudden what comes out of Bill's mouth? Said I'm getting old and fat and slow, and I don't recover like I did before from nights of rabble, rousing and too much fun. Well, I looked around and we all agreed, and I had a drink and I ordered 3, and I staggered back to do it all again. Then we made an oath on a rum and coke with the best intention, I'm sure you know, that we would stop this living in excess. We're gonna have one more party, one more special occasion. Do it Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, holidays and weekends. We can have one more party. There's more hell we should be raising. One more party now, one more party tonight.
Okay, it's running. Well, let's let it warm up for a few minutes and then we'll change the oil. Okay, the oil filter feels warm now, so I think it's time we can change the oil. Definitely due for an oil change. Looking pretty dark. But over here on the side of the engine, just below the oil check dipstick thing, just below the filter is where the drain plug is, and the drain plug looks like that. Okay, so what comes in my John Deere tune-up kit? This is an air filter MIU 12555. Then I got the pre-filter. Model number MIU 12554. Then I got a fuel filter. Model number AM 116304. Got my oil filter. Model AM 125424. I got a spark plug, which is an NGK BPR4ES6578, and another one, and 2 quarts of oil. W15 by 40 is what they recommend for my area. Alright guys, that's what I got to put in here. Okay, then to take the filter off, I found this little butter container, and it fits nicely underneath that little drain deal there that's just going to kick it out onto the frame. So let's see how that works. Yep guys, that little butter dish was the absolute perfect size to fit in there and catch all that oil that just was going to dump all over the frame and then onto the floor. So one way to keep your messes from getting too bad, look at using some small butter dishes. Okay, the new filter is on hand tight. Looks like we're ready to go on that. Okay, the drain plug is back in place. Got the funnel. Now I'm just going to dump in those 2 quarts of oil. Okay, one down. Okay, so if you read this thing close enough, it says you don't screw it on to check the oil level. So we just stick it in there, I suppose, down to, you know, where you would screw it on, and then you check it. Okay, we're definitely full, maybe a little over. But since we put a new filter on, we're probably good. Good enough anyway. Alright, talk to you guys in a bit. Okay, I ran it for a few seconds, and now if you look at it, it's right on the full mark with 2 quarts. So I think we're in pretty good shape. Okay, the next item is the air filter and pre-filter. There's the air filter. Where's that pre-filter thing go? Huh. Does that just wrap around the air filter? And I just never have one before? Maybe. Alright, let's see what we can do. Alright, it looks like the pre-filter fits perfectly around the air filter. That must be what it's supposed to be. Even though the old one didn't have one. Alright, what's it going to take to replace that? Okay, there's a wing nut on there, and once you loosen that wing nut, it really lightens itself up a lot, and you can bend this hose up and make sure that you put the new one in. Okay, with the new one in place, we're just going to tighten this wing nut back up. And then the air filter is done. There you have it. Easy enough, huh? Okay, what do we got next? The fuel filter is down here, and it looks like that can be done with just a pair of pliers. Okay, let's take that off and put the new one on. Okay, I'm going to stick a little butter dish underneath there to hopefully catch the fuel when it dumps out of the hose when I take the filter off. If you take the battery out, you might just have enough room to get your meat hooks back in there to take that filter off. And I clamped off the fuel line, supply line, so when I take the filter out, it doesn't siphon the tank. Well, got the fuel filter back in place. I rotated these clamps up a little bit easier, so the next time it'll be easier to get to it. And I'm glad I put that butter dish underneath there, because quite a bit of fuel dribbled out of there and it would have stunk up the place. But by catching it, I hope to not be so bad. Now if I can get that butter dish out of there, that'll be the big question. Okay, battery is back in place. These rubber hooky things are back on. And I almost forgot about this. There we go. Fuel's back on. What do we got left? Spark plugs. Where are those at? Okay, here's one on this side. Looks like we just pull the boot off of that and yank it out, huh? Looks like it uses a standard spark plug socket, so this shouldn't be too hard to do. If you guys are wondering, here's what the old spark plug looks like. Not the worst, but not the best. Alright, now I'm just fingering it in here so make sure I don't cross thread it or anything. Quite a few threads on it, so it's got to go a little ways. Alright, here's hand tight, or finger tight. Alright, give it 17 inch-pounds, foot-pounds? Yeah, something like that. There you go, guys. Oh, you know what I'm forgetting? A little bit of dielectric grease on the end of that. Little dab will do you. Is it on there? Yep. Okay, there you go. This side's done. The other side's just like this one. Alright, if you're curious what the other side looks like, that's what she came out as. Alright, now will she run? Yep, there you go. spring tune-up. I guess I should have took those pliers off before I started it, huh? Okay guys, there's the first mowing.
Me and the boys was sitting around drinking, we was talking about things that we was thinking, when all of a sudden what comes out of Bill's mouth? Said I'm getting old and fat and slow, and I don't recover like I did before from nights of rabble, rousing and too much fun. Well, I looked around and we all agreed, and I had a drink and I ordered free, and I staggered back to do it all again. Then we made an oath on a rum and coke with the best intention, I'm sure you know, that we would stop this living in excess. We're gonna have one more party, one more special occasion. Do it Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, holidays and weekends. We can have one more party. There's more hell we should be raising. One more party now, one more party tonight.